Have you ever noticed something strange on the highway? Box trucks are square. Flatbeds are flat. But the trucks carrying liquids? They're always perfectly round. Huge metal cylinders rolling down the road. And it seems inefficient, right? Because a square tank would hold more. More space, more volume, more profit. So why don't they build them that way? Because if they did, those trucks wouldn't just be inefficient. They would be dangerous, unstable, and in some cases, almost impossible to control. The real reason has nothing to do with design preference, and everything to do with physics, pressure, and a hidden force inside the tank that could flip an entire truck. When a truck carries solid cargo, like boxes or furniture, the weight just sits there. But liquids behave completely differently. They don't stay still. They push. In every direction. Constantly. The moment you fill a container with liquid, it begins pressing outward against every surface. The walls, the floor, the ceiling. And that pressure increases the deeper the liquid gets. Now here's where the problem begins. In a rectangular tank, that pressure doesn't spread evenly. It builds up in the worst possible places. The corners. Those sharp 90-degree angles become stress points, where force concentrates instead of dispersing. Every bump in the road, every break, every turn sends waves of liquid crashing into those corners like repeated hammer blows. Over time, that stress adds up. Metal fatigues, cracks form, and eventually, it fails. Not slowly, but suddenly. That's why engineers avoid corners altogether. A cylindrical tank has no edges, no weak points. The pressure spreads evenly across the entire curved surface, reducing stress and making the structure far stronger. In fact, the ideal shape for holding pressurized liquid isn't a box, it's a sphere. But since a giant rolling ball isn't practical on a highway, the cylinder becomes the perfect compromise. Strong, stable, and built to survive the constant force from within. Pressure is one problem, movement is another, and this one is far more dangerous. When a truck carries liquid, the cargo inside doesn't just sit still. It moves. This movement is called sloshing. Imagine holding a tray filled with water. The moment you take a step, the water surges forward, then backward, then side to side. It doesn't follow you smoothly. It reacts with delay, building momentum as it goes. Now scale that up. Instead of a tray, imagine thousands of gallons of fuel or milk inside a moving truck. When the driver brakes suddenly, all that liquid keeps moving forward. When the truck turns, the liquid shifts violently to one side. In a flat-sided, rectangular tank, that movement becomes dangerous because the liquid doesn't flow. It crashes. It slams into the walls all at once, creating a massive shift in weight. For a fully loaded tanker, that force can be powerful enough to destabilize the entire vehicle. In extreme cases, it can flip the truck. A cylindrical tank changes everything. Instead of hitting a flat wall, the liquid rolls along the curved surface. The energy is spread out, redirected, softened. The wave doesn't stop suddenly. It flows. This reduces the shock, reduces the force, and most importantly, keeps the truck stable. Because on the highway, it's not just about carrying liquid, it's about controlling it. There's another hidden advantage of that rounded shape, and it comes down to something simple. Balance. When a truck carries heavy liquid, its stability depends on where that weight sits. The higher the weight, the easier it is for the vehicle to tip over, especially during turns. Now, think about a rectangular tank. To maximize space, it would sit higher on the truck's frame. With flat walls and a flat top, that pushes a large portion of the liquid mass upward, raising the center of gravity. And that's dangerous. Because when a truck takes a sharp turn, all that elevated weight shifts outward, increasing the risk of a rollover. A cylindrical tank changes that. Its curved shape naturally sits lower on the chassis. Instead of stacking weight upward, it distributes it downward and across the frame. The result? A lower center of gravity, more stability, and better control during turns. Combined with the way it handles sloshing, this makes a massive difference. The truck isn't just carrying liquid, It's staying grounded while doing it. Because on the road, stability isn't optional. It's survival. There's one final reason these tanks are round, and it has nothing to do with physics or stability. It's about what happens when the liquid is gone. Because for many of these trucks, especially the ones carrying milk, juice, or cooking oil, emptying the tank completely is critical. Now imagine a rectangular tank, flat bottom, sharp corners. When the liquid drains, it doesn't all flow out. A thin layer gets left behind, especially in the corners and edges. Small pockets of liquid can sit there, stuck, unable to reach the outlet. That's not just wasteful, it's dangerous. Because leftover liquid can spoil, grow bacteria, and contaminate the next load. Now multiply that across thousands of gallons. One bad corner could ruin everything. A cylindrical tank solves this naturally. Its curved shape guides the liquid toward the lowest point, exactly where the drain valve is located. Instead of getting trapped, the liquid flows smoothly, leaving almost nothing behind. And when it comes to cleaning, there are no corners, no hidden spots, just one continuous surface that can be washed, sanitized, and inspected with ease. It's faster, safer, and far more reliable. Because when you're transporting food or chemicals, cleanliness isn't optional, it's essential. So the next time you see one of those massive tanker trucks rolling down the highway, perfectly round, smooth, almost simple, you'll know it's anything but. Because that shape isn't about saving space. It's about surviving the forces you can't see. Pressure trying to tear the tank apart from the inside, liquid shifting with enough force to flip an entire vehicle, and the constant need to stay stable, clean, and under control at highway speeds. A square tank might hold more, but it wouldn't last, it wouldn't be safe, and it definitely wouldn't make it very far. So that rounded shape? It's not a design choice, it's a solution. A quiet piece of engineering that keeps thousands of tons of moving liquid exactly where it belongs. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden logic behind everyday things.